Hi, my name's Paul Cresswell. Welcome to Paul's Tackle Reviews. The normal purpose of this channel is to give you reviews of tackle that's been out on the bank, tried and tested by an unbiased, unsponsored angler, and that's me. And there's lots of videos for you to look at, well over 100 now. Today is slightly different. I've just bought a new rod and I thought I'd do a kind of unboxing video. I say kind of because it didn't come in a box, but it's just, I'm going to take you through this rod and what my first thoughts are on it. And then in a couple of months' time, I'll do a full review, including some on the bank footage as well. I've had lots of 10-foot feeder rods and I really think they're the mainstay do-it-all kind of rod on commercials up to 40 metres kind of range. Couldn't resist a new one. This is the first rod from Nufish and it's their first venture into rods as well. And I've seen all the promo stuff, lots of stuff on the internet, very good on the socials. It sounds like they've done a lot of work on them, and I think if you're launching your first ever range of rods, you're gonna want to make sure you get it absolutely spot on. So I think they've put a lot of time and effort into producing these rods. They're doing two ranges of rods, a commercial set and a silverfish set, roughly kind of speaking. In the commercial, there's 3 feeder rods and a pellet waggler rod. I did see the pellet waggler rod in the shop yesterday. Looked very nice. That's all I can say. And they've got the 3 silverfish rods as well for feeder fishing. So I picked the rod up yesterday. They are brand new out, so I don't think anybody other than the sponsored anglers and consultants would have had them before this week. And it was £209 for the 10-foot commercial feeder rod. So for that money, you are expecting top-end performance. It's kind of at the bottom end of top-end rods, if you like. I think the matrix are quite a bit more, the Prestons are similar, the map. But I think it's a good price. Let's look at the rod. And the first thing I'll say, and I'm going to put some photos up, it does have a very premium feel to it. So here's the little logo. That's the little booklet that comes with the rod. They've gone for this kind of premium gold look. They've put that on the rods as well. There's a little bit of silver just before the handle. It's a part cork, part Duplon handle. It's got the flattened part of the handle that goes under your arm there. That's quite common on rods now, and I do think it's a really nice feature. It is a slim rod and I forgot to weigh it, so I'll now put the weight on the bottom there. But the weight of feeder rods isn't quite as important as the weight of waggler rods, because with the waggler you're holding it nearly all the time. This, you're casting out, it's in the rod rest, you're waiting for things to happen. So the weight isn't that important, but it feels like a light rod and it feels very well balanced. It does come in a very nice padded case that will now live at the back of my garage, because I think, like the majority of people, I take my rods to the bank ready-made up with the reel on. I will say there is plastic on the handle, and I've taken the plastic off the handle. My mate laughs at me because it's my pet hate, people leaving plastic on the handle. I just think, why would you? That's part of the packaging. So take the plastic off, life's better. that's how they were designed to be used. It's obviously got a screw reel fitting and a hook keeper as well, all the usual kind of stuff. There's two rod rings on the bottom section. There's 13 on the tip, including those on the tip. It's got good sized rings. You don't need big oversized rings on a 10-foot rod because you're just not casting it that far where big rings and shock leaders are going to go through. That's not how this rod has been designed. It comes with 3 tips, 1 ounce, 1.5 and a 2 ounce. I think I've said in the videos before, I think 1 ounce is perfect. It's not really bite detection when you're method feeding for carp, but I just think if you've got a softer tip, then if you do get liners, you're less likely to move the feeder. So I've picked it up and I've given it a waggle. It feels very crisp, and that's what you get with the top end rods. They recover to straight almost straight away. It does feel like a top end rod, and I've had top end rods in the past. They've introduced something called the BTC rating, and some people think this is absolute guff and some people think it's useful, and I think it's useful because what it does is it gives you a figure for the rating of that rod, which means you can compare rods to see whether it's a stiff rod or it's a soft rod. So the BTC rating for this rod is 260 grams. They've also on the video done some other rods, and they did the Preston Supera, the original, which I've also got, and that was 280. So immediately I'm thinking it's not far off the Supera, maybe a tad little bit softer. Obviously the actions are different. I just feel when you look at rods and you look at the casting weight, it's just some kind of made up figure they've got. I once bought a Shimano 10-foot rod and it had a casting weight of 50 grams, and realistically, even at 30 grams, it was pushing it a little bit. So what's coming next? This is only a quick video. I'm going to put my Aero 5000 XR reel on and I'm going to go and catch lots of fish. That's the plan. I will come back in a couple of months with another video. I will also get in the garden like I've done with rods before, and so you can compare the action to the Supera and to the Guru Engage Pro, which is another 10-foot feeder rod that I use, that I would say is at the softer end of 10-foot feeder rods. So how soon I get back depends on the weather, because filming's been terrible. You can't really film in the rain. And it also depends on the carp waking up, and 1 or 2 of my places it's been really tough. That's it for today. If you want to give me a like and subscribe, that's great. If you've got any questions or comments, put them down below and I'll come back to you as soon as I can. Until next time, tight lines.